I spent the last 3 years working very hard to try and find a legitimate way to make money online that would actually help my family and not just be an additional 9 to 5. In today's video, I'm going to be a completely open book and share with you 5 different side hustles that I've personally tried that have all promised $800 a day and give you my honest review about how they went. Be sure to stay tuned to the very end of the video because I'm going to be sharing with you which one worked the best for me and that I will be sticking with long term. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's dive right in. The first side hustle that promised $800 a day was Etsy and print on demand. This is basically all over YouTube and the internet when you are Googling and searching for side hustle ideas. And so it's blasted out there as one of the #1 ways to make easy money online. You'll see videos like Etsy and Printify and Etsy and Printful and just how easy it is to make money if you just create a design, integrate it with one of these sites and throw a listing up on Etsy. I've literally seen videos out there saying you can make $1,000 a day doing this. And like everyone else, I thought this business model sounded really great, right? You don't have to deal with shipping. You don't have to deal with actually printing the shirts. Your job is to create a compelling design, do the research to see where the demand is, and then integrate it through one of these third-party softwares onto a listing at Etsy, and voila. So of course I went ahead and gave it a try. After all, it'll be simple and you can make a few $100s a day, right? So I actually opened 2 different print-on-demand Etsy shops. My first shop was a traditional sublimation shop, and I tried matching family like shirts and sweatshirts. And then I actually still have a sample from my second shop, which was a niche shop where I really tried to get into embroidery. So I really went all in on this. As you can tell, I ordered samples for myself. I wanted it to be quality. I wanted to see what the designs and the embroidery would look like. So I took this very seriously. I did a lot of research to see what kind of phrases and designs were in demand. I found models. I found really strong mock-ups. And I did a lot of research into which t-shirt brands would be the best. And so I took this very seriously. I followed all of the advice, but here's the honest truth. The profit margins on this are just so small, it just simply wasn't worth my time. To fully get started at the beginning, it took me about a full weekend to set up my shop, get verified on Etsy, integrate that with Printful and Printify, and start designing my shirts. But it obviously took a lot longer than that to get my samples in, get models, find the right mock-ups, kind of find those winning combinations. And as a reminder, you are paying 20 cents a listing, which is actually pretty low, but you have to throw a lot of listings up there to see what's actually going to sell. Again, the research and designing aspect of this also took a lot of time for me. The research especially because I found that it took a lot of work to put up a listing and create a design, and so I wanted to do the research on the front end to make sure that my time was targeted where the demand was high and the saturation was relatively low. So now between the research, the designing, getting the samples, getting the photos and the mock-ups put together, setting up the listing, answering customer service, I was doing a ton of work and making like $3 to $6 a sale. I did make some decent sales, but when you factor out all of your costs, it was such a low profit margin that Etsy and print on demand is simply a no for me. Maybe it worked, 5 to 10 years ago when it was new to Etsy, but it is so oversaturated now that it's almost impossible to stand out unless you're driving your own traffic or running ads, which just eats further into your profit margin. I also just want to say I'm not a huge fan of Etsy because they are completely in control of your shop, your customers, and your customer experience. And so if you just do anything, whether it's actually wrong or not, that Etsy doesn't like, they can just suspend your shop. They can just shut it down without warning. It's actually just not worth kind of being on edge at all times when it comes to selling on Etsy. Also, their algorithm can change and then boom, your traffic is gone just like that. So this one is honestly just a big old no for me. I'd like to take a minute before I go on to number 2 to say that if you like this kind of content, I would love if you subscribe to me here on YouTube and join me over on Instagram. We have a really great time, and I share this kind of make money online content to help everyone be truly successful in building online businesses. The second side hustle I tried that promised $800 a day was Etsy digital products. And honestly, I have a little bit of a hard time putting this one on here because it is still one that I actively use to this day, but I'm just gonna refer to this video if you do want to learn more, I just did a video on why I no longer put any new listings out on Etsy when it comes to digital products. My old listings still, I've let them ride. So I haven't put a new listing out on Etsy in over a year, and I still make about $2,000 a month just from my old listing. So I have kind of a hard time putting this one on here because it had been good for me for a long time. If you want to learn more about my specific journey with Etsy digital products, you can reference that video. But the bottom line is that Etsy is absolutely flooded with subpar digital products, and again, it becomes a game of attrition, and you are unable to charge what your products are worth when there's just so many subpar products that are selling for 1 cent. How do you even compete with that, and how do you make any money? And so just check out that video for any further details. The third side hustle I tried that promised $800 a day was using drop shipping and AliExpress. So if you're unfamiliar with what this is, it's basically going to AliExpress or Alibaba, one or the other, and choosing an item and then integrating it with a third-party software. Most people use Amazon or again Etsy, and then having them do the fulfillment for you. And people really seem to like this and tout it as this wonderful side hustle idea because you don't have to have all of this storage or do shipping. But let's just take a minute and stop right there. I'm going to go over a few things about AliExpress that is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches. The truth is that you can honestly not set up a drop shipping website through Amazon or Etsy with AliExpress and expect to have a successful shop. Is it possible? Yes. Will you be successful? No, and let me tell you why. It takes a minimum of 3 to 4 weeks from when an order is placed on AliExpress to when it arrives at its final destination. Absolute minimum. And so think about it. If people are used to going onto Amazon and ordering something at 7 p.m. tonight and getting it by 8 a.m. the next morning, or maybe the next day, or maximum 2 days, why would they order from your shop and have to wait over a month to get their product? It honestly doesn't make sense, especially in the Amazon world. And if you do manage to make a sale, then you're gonna most likely end up with bad reviews because people are gonna be frustrated that it took so long to get to them. And this leads me to my next point, which is most of the items coming from this website are honestly just junk. When you do a drop shipping method and you don't actually see the product, you can do absolutely zero quality control. Now, when I first started looking into this kind of drop shipping AliExpress side hustle, I actually physically purchased the products myself. I invested money and had them shipped to me. It took a very long time to get to me, and when the products finally did make it to me, they were absolute junk. And I ordered a few different products and things just to try and see exactly what the quality was going to be like. And once I had those products in my hands, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that this would not be the side hustle for me for 2 reasons. I don't like to buy junk, I don't like to sell junk, I like quality items, but more importantly than that, there was a values issue, an ethical issue with me. As I began to do more research into AliExpress and their manufacturers, I just ethically, for my own personal reasons, did not feel comfortable using manufacturer methods that honestly use exploitation. Because if you think about it, there is a reason that these products are so cheap. And that's just, I'm sorry if that's the hard truth, but I think that someone needs to say it. I also want to say I'm not perfect. I still sometimes purchase things from Amazon, but I try and get incrementally better every day, be aware of what products that I'm buying. And the fact of the matter was, I knew that I could not run a business and make money off of the exploitation of others. It just didn't align with my values. And I'm not trying to knock anyone else necessarily who's doing this. I just want people to be informed and do their own research and come to their own conclusion with this one. I also want to acknowledge that there may be an ethical way to do drop shipping, and I'm so happy for you if you found a way to do that, but for me personally and the avenues that I was aware of, this one was just another big no for me. The fourth side hustle that I tried that promised $800 a day was YouTube, the video that you're watching right now. So yes, this is my first YouTube channel. I make a lot of videos and am an open book about how much money I make on YouTube. I'm gonna put some of those thumbnails up here and link some of them in the cards above. So if you're interested specifically in YouTube, you can go check out some of those videos. But I wanna say, I think people think that YouTubers make all of this, like these wild amounts of money. And you know, maybe YouTube channels that have millions and millions of subscribers do, but I am a relatively small channel. And I got monetized in July of 2023, so it's been about 6 months. And I just did like a 6-month income report from AdSense. In this video in particular, popular, but the bottom line is that my income from Google AdSense barely covers my video editor. And yes, I do have a video editor. I'm a very busy mom to 2 under 3. I still work full time for the time being. That's going to change very soon. But obviously I don't have a lot of free time in my day. And one single YouTube video, from writing the script to filming to editing, took me about 10 hours on my own. So by handing off that editing piece to someone else, that's the only way that I can continue to make these videos and try and help people. So basically every cent that I get from Google AdSense goes to cover my editor. Hey James, you do a great job and thank you for editing my videos. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos about YouTube monetization, I'm very passionate about monetizing your YouTube channel through other avenues, not just AdSense. But again, if you're specifically interested in YouTube, I will direct you toward that playlist so you can go ahead and check out the YouTube specific videos. But the bottom line is that YouTube is basically just a passion project for me. I'm really passionate about trying to help others and educate others. I don't make much money off this. It's about a wash for me, but I still love it. And so that's just, I wanted to peel back the curtain a little bit and be honest about if YouTube was going to be this big side hustle for you, just so that you had an idea. I think you really have to love this one in order to keep with it. And I just wanted you to understand just how much money you could make from just the AdSense in YouTube. If you want to monetize in other avenues, I would suggest checking out those videos. The fifth and final category for side hustles that promised $800 a day is affiliate marketing. We are actually going to have a part 1 and a part 2 under this category because not all affiliate marketing is created equal, and let me explain. Part 1 is what I call traditional affiliate marketing or low ticket affiliate marketing. It's the affiliate marketing that most people are familiar with. So actually one of the most popular videos on my channel is a video about Pinterest and affiliate marketing. And this is an example of what I would call traditional affiliate marketing or low ticket affiliate marketing. I think that people are really drawn to Pinterest, and for a good reason, right? Pinterest is a search engine based platform, which means it's the least social media of the social media platforms out there. All of the content on Pinterest has a much longer shelf life than basically any other social media platform out there. It's the most evergreen, if you will. People also like Pinterest because they think that it doesn't require you to show your face, which isn't quite true, but we can get into that another time. And it's the most evergreen of the platforms out there. Content on Pinterest does last a long time. People can stumble across your pin 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the line, and it can still redirect and make you money, which is really cool. And I get why people are interested in Pinterest. But I will say I am constantly learning and growing, and the Pinterest video that I filmed almost a year ago at this point, which is kind of crazy, but I have learned a lot since then. But if I'm being perfectly honest, what I found with Pinterest, that is the case for so many of these side hustle ideas, was that the time I had to spend in order to make small amounts of money was simply not worth it. The return on time investment with low ticket affiliate products is honestly just abysmal. Unless you have a blog that's been around for a while, and I'm talking like a year, 2 years plus, and Pinterest really likes the longevity and the legitimacy of your blog, and you have a lot of blog posts that all have a lot of pins, I have not seen great success from people who are only promoting low ticket affiliate offers without a blog behind them. I'm just being honest, when I created that video, I didn't know this quite yet, but in the last year, I have learned a lot. Now, if you're retired and you have a lot of time on your hands and you're just looking to bring in a couple $100s a month, I think that this model could still work for you. I'm not trying to say it doesn't work at all, but for me, I wanted a big impact for my family's life. I was looking to try and replace a 9-to-5 income. I was looking for time freedom for my family. I was looking for serious supplemental income and not just another 9-to-5 that I did at night when the kids went to bed. So again, Pinterest affiliate marketing just was simply not worth my time. Okay, so now on to part 2, which is high ticket affiliate sales. So the secret's out, guys. This is the clear winner for me. Again, if you want a whole video on high ticket affiliate marketing and how it's different from low ticket, you can see this video that I just recently posted, but I'm gonna kind of run through the highlights here again in this video. So before I get into this winning business model, I want to explain the criteria coming after all of these failures, all of these duds that I had when looking for a sustainable and scalable side hustle, which, spoiler alert, it's not actually a side hustle, it's an online business. business. And I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. So this is the following criteria that I had after having so many failed attempts. Number one, it had to give me a high return on investment with both my money and my time. My time is worth the most out of anything to me, and so I needed the time that I spent on this online business or this side hustle to really pack a punch. Two, I needed there to be a high payout. Therefore, this had to be a high ticket item. I'm talking minimum $700 payout, upwards of $1,000, multiple $1,000s per payout, because I found with those low ticket items, that was causing that hamster wheel feeling. That was causing that endless hustle. Like I just couldn't breathe, couldn't step off, and it was just creating a second 9 to 5 for me. So it had to be a high ticket product with a high payout. Criteria number 3 is that this business model had to have sustainability through either a retirement plan or some form of leverage that meant I wouldn't have to just keep switching and pivoting every few years. I needed this to be a long-term business solution to my family's financial needs. Criteria number 4, I needed to not have to bug family or friends, and I certainly did not want to have to rely on any social media algorithms in order for this business to be successful. I'm not big into social media. I don't love spending all my time on social media, and honestly, the algorithms don't super love me. They haven't cracked the code. So I needed my business model not to be dependent on algorithms or bugging those people around me. 5, the business model had to come with a training platform and a very supportive community, all included. I felt like I had been floundering out on my own for far too long. I had wasted 3 years trying to find and do this side hustle thing on my own because I didn't want to spend the money, or I didn't have the money up front to invest. But I have found that the indicator of number 1 success in online business is legitimate training tailored to that business model and a supportive community that is ongoing and constant and there to support you, there to answer your questions, and there to just come around you and help you be successful. And the last criteria number 6, is that it had to simply align with my values. So as I mentioned before, an online business is not a side hustle. And I honestly think that's where most people go wrong. A side hustle is not necessarily a bad thing. A side hustle, though, is meant for a season. Maybe you have a particular credit card debt that you're trying to pay out, a particular medical bill that popped up unexpectedly, a down payment on a house, a set target for something that has an end date. But most people nowadays are using the term side hustle when they mean online business. They mean that this income stream needs to be ongoing, like in perpetuity, forever, not a set period of time. But how long can you hustle before you burn out? Side hustles that don't have leverage, side hustles that don't have sustainability, side hustles that don't have scalability lead directly to burnout. And you will burn out before you ever make the change or the impact to your family situation, which is the whole reason you started the side hustle in the first place, right? The thing about side hustles is as soon as you stop hustling, all of the income stops. There's no leverage to that business model because it's not a business model, it's a hustle. So I just want to say, if any of you are serious about making money online and this is something that's in perpetuity that you want to be doing for a long period of time, you want to change your family's financial situation, maybe you want more time freedom, maybe you want more location freedom, maybe you want to be home with your kids, maybe you want to leave your 9 to 5. Honestly, this can't be treated like a hobby. You need to pursue it like a business. So I found that there are a few things that are just, they have to be there in order for you to be successful with a high ticket affiliate marketing business. The first is you have to be coachable and be willing to learn new skills. Again, if you found the right business model and the right training platform, they are going to hand you everything that you need in order to be successful, but you have to be willing to take that information and actually put it into action. Additionally, for an online business model to be both sustainable and scalable, there is going to be some sort of initial investment, whether that's through education or the high ticket product itself. I personally am not aware of a high ticket product out there that allows you to promote it and get commissions from it without owning it yourself. And this makes sense for something that's expensive, right? If people are gonna part with large amounts of money, then they need to be talking with someone who is an expert in that product. Low ticket products, not necessarily, you don't necessarily need to own them, but I think that it really makes sense for high ticket products, and I'm not really aware of any high ticket products out there that don't require you to own, use, and love the product before you start promoting it. That being said, the right high ticket business model can allow you to start with zero down. There will be an investment, but you can get started with zero down. But some people aren't comfortable with that. And any business out there is going to require some sort of initial investment. And I think people are in this situation where they're frenzied, right? And they're desperate for this other income source for their family that they just can't really imagine investing in something that is a long-term solution to their problems, right? Like when there's immediate pain in front of you, it's just easier to take Tylenol instead of go to the root cause of the problem and fix it once and for all. That's what I'm trying to get across here, is that a side hustle is this temporary short fix, whereas an online business is going to the root of the problem and going to actually get you to whatever goals that it is that you have, which is why you're trying to, make money online in the first place. So when people get scared off by either the initial investment of time or money that it takes to build a business, then they go back to the drawing board, to YouTube, where they're gonna say, oh, well, I'm gonna learn how to do all this for free, and they spin out on these rabbit holes, and then they waste all these precious years. I know, because this is exactly what I did. I was like, you know what, I don't have the time or the money to invest in all of this right now, and so I'm going to learn how to do this online. I'm going to do this for free, and I wasted all these precious years on all of those side hustles that I mentioned earlier in this video with basically not all that much to show for it. And it turns out these last 3 years, I wasn't actually looking for a side hustle. I was looking for a sustainable and scalable online business that would allow me to meet my family's goals, which for our family meant me leaving my 9-to-5 to be more with my kids, which meant an online business that I could do when they were in bed or napping, and that could be done from anywhere in the world. Those were the things that we wanted for our life. And yet I spent all this time spinning out on these side hustle ideas online, and honestly, I wasted some really precious years. Every side hustle that I tried either A, didn't work, or B, was just trading my time for money again. It was giving me a second 9-to-5. It was like working 2 jobs, and it really honestly wasn't getting me where we wanted to go as a family. If you want to learn more about this specific high ticket business model that I'm talking about, you can click below, fill out the learn more form that will then get you access to the free 20-minute webinar. But please understand that A, this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? And that's the problem. Get rich quick schemes are schemes. They don't last. They rise and fall. And so this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a long-term sustainable business option. And B, it's just also important to know that there is an initial investment of both time and money in order to get started with any business. You have to be willing to learn. Otherwise, I would encourage you to go out there and look for other high ticket business models out there. This is one option of many. It's by far the best one that I've seen out there. The compensation plan is insane. The community is amazing. It's honestly the best one I've found, but please go out there and do your own research. Please don't ask me in the comments where to look, blah, blah, blah. I'm not an expert in all high ticket online businesses. I am in this specific product and business model that I'm talking about, but people always like to ask me as if I'm just gonna I have all this information, and I'm not. I'm just simply not an expert in all of the high ticket products that are out there. There are basically unlimited high ticket products. You just need to find the one that aligns to you, and the compensation plan, the community, the training is going to get you where your goals are, right? So anyway, all of that to say, hopefully outlining the side hustles that ended up not working for me was helpful for you, or at least you understand what you're getting into up front. I was like you, I was watching all these videos online that were promising the moon, and then in reality, even though I was willing to put in the hard work, I just the reality was a lot different than the picture that people were trying to paint. So I'm trying to be transparent. I'm trying to be an open book. Please let me know what questions you have in the comments. And again, I'd love you to stick around if you're interested in affiliate marketing and online business in general. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful day.